It is your favorite CEO, Miss Flo, back with another episode of Neon Mike, where the conversation just glows. I am back in the Plus Ultra Entertainment Studios here at the National Harbor, and my special guest is Success. First of all, love the name.
Thank you.
I feel like that is a way of providing an affirmation to where you want to go. So I just like, is that what you had in mind?
Well, actually, my given name means success in Arabic, and so when I started to transition, I just started going by Success.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it was, you were born.
Yeah, my parents was on to something.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, like we met at Olivia's launch party.
Shout out to Liv, that's the homie.
For their production studio. I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly because it's such a beautiful name. It was.
You want me to say?
You say
Unoya.
Unoya
Cinema House, yeah.
Yeah, and
them,
we
yes.
started connecting, and your resume is absolutely outstanding.
Oh,
From
thank you.
artist, web designer, graphic designer. You are opening galleries. You have a coloring book. You have, it's like, oh my God, like, do you sleep?
I do. I sleep a lot, actually. First of all, thank you so much. That's very kind. Happy to be here. Should I look at the camera when I'm saying?
We can talk.
We can talk later. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so appreciate the intro. My name is Success. I kind of consider myself to be a creative visionary. Anything that I can kind of like, imagine in my mind, I just want to make it. Like, I'm just really inspired by like just making things and trying things out. So, and it just kind of turns out to like a lot of things that I'm interested in. I ended up turning them into a business. So I actually run 4 businesses right now. There's Pathways to Success Coaching, where I work with students and young adults, really helping them to be able to develop a strong like internal foundation based on who they are like naturally, so that they can move into the world powerfully, because students need that a lot in these day and age. Also, Success Art Studios is where I hold my artwork. I guess it's kind of graphic design. This is one of my photos from my upcoming exhibition. I do photography, mixed media, acrylics, and I think that's it. I'm really obsessed with like things that are beautiful and things that inspire like joy and like vibrancy. So it's a lot of like bold colors, a lot of like emotion in my work. Smoking Colors is also another company that I co-run with my lovely partner Justice and my business partner Wesley. We have our own coloring book, and we really curate wellness experiences for adults, really to be able to connect with the inner child, connect with their community through creativity and play. And so that's one. And then finally, there is Successful Sites, which is my digital marketing agency, where I do website design, I do graphic design. And I'm really up to like helping entrepreneurs be able to get their messages out in like authentic ways. Because as you know, as an entrepreneur, it's like marketing is everything. And we have to be able to sustain marketing over a long period of time. And like, how do we do that in a way that feels authentic, right? Like in a way that's like, especially when you have something like really genuinely good to share, and you see a lot of things out there, people marketing stuff that's just, snake oil.
Yeah.
I really, that kind of, I have qualms with the marketing industry, and so I kind of decided to start my own company to be able to like disrupt that and really bring the soul and the authenticity into it. So I'm definitely up to a lot. I feel like I said, I'm really just inspired to create, to be, someone who can really just show folks that if you're interested in things, if you want to create things, like there's no harm in trying, like you never know like where things can lead. And so, yeah, I didn't think I was going to be here in the 2 years since after I left my corporate career. But yeah, I feel like things have been going all right.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, it's always the hesitation, because like when you're in a corporate or you feel like you're in a secure job,
Right.
like what made you want to, take that leap and be your own boss?
I really didn't thrive in the corporate environment. I worked in consulting. Anybody who knows anything about consulting, it's like one of those careers that is very intense. It requires a lot of like intensity, a lot of like I was just working like all the time, and then but the structure of it really just, I consider myself to be neurodivergent. I'm actually in the process of getting like an actual diagnosis to understand, but I just feel like, the way that my brain naturally works, it just did not thrive in that environment. It caused a lot of anxiety, it caused a lot of sickness in my body. And so I just knew that I had to leave that. I didn't like kind of set, I kind of set out to just like explore and just see what resonated with me. Cause I mean, I've been an entrepreneur since I was like 16. Like I started selling snacks with, like in school and in college. I also sold things as well to just like support myself. And so business has always been something that, resonated with me. And then when I tried the corporate thing and I just knew, I was like, I'm not well, I'm not enjoying my life in this frame of reference. So I need to try something else. And so that's when I really I just kind of took that leap. I was like, you know what? If it doesn't work and I can't figure it out, then I can always just go and get another job. But felt like being, relatively young, I feel like this is a good time for me to just try different things. And so I just kept putting myself out there, and here we are.
Well, that's amazing. And I think that a lot of people are feeling that now because usually in the corporate environment, you're more so a cog in a machine. It's like if you're not almost like killing yourself as you are, doing your job, then you're considered less than or not as valuable as an employee.
Yeah.
It's like our bodies need to rest. We need sleep. We need to take time to restore our mental,
Yeah. I mean, that, like exactly what you said, like that culture, especially in a corporate environment, like that's celebrated. Like that, when you're sacrificing sleep, when you're sacrificing your well-being, eating through lunch, working through lunch, like all of those things, at least the environments that I came in, I think a lot of people might resonate with this. It's like that's what's required, is to like drain your life force in service of some entity that really doesn't give a shit about you or your well-being at all. And so that to me is like, and being an entrepreneur, I'm sure you can relate. It's still like, I feel like I definitely work just as much, if not more sometimes, but it's like, I think the frame of reference and the structure and the flexibility is what makes the difference. Because when you're pouring into something that you genuinely care about, that really lights you up, that you can, self-direct versus, putting all of that energy into something that drains you versus, filling your cup and like your vision that you have, that to me makes the journey worth it.
No, and I get that, and I'm assuming that's like what inspired you to do the smoke and color.
Yeah.
It's just like, what some of the feedback some of your participants gave you, just like for doing it, because it's like we just assume that once you grow up, you leave a lot of the childish things behind.
Yeah.
But as a blur, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're collecting action figures. We're still reading comic books.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So what is it like for your clientele to just sit down and color?
Yeah, people really love it. Like, I think a lot of people have told us, like, I've been wanting to do something like this. Like, this is like so fun. And I feel like, especially in today's day and age, like, third spaces and places where people can not only connect and just be not at the house, not at the store, like just somewhere just to be together is needed. And also, like you said, the idea of adult play. Like, I feel like adults, like everything, feels very serious at times. Like I don't think we have enough dedicated spaces to connect with our inner child. Cause I've been doing a lot of that work, like even in therapy, of like being able to like, heal those parts of me and a lot of like my interests, like coloring, like Legos, like all of these things, like they feed into that. And so I think a lot of our participants have kind of felt the same way. It's like, man, if you look at any of our videos, people be locked in on the color sheets. People be locked in. And I think the feedback has been like being able to just have something different, something new, and something that has a wellness component to it. That's just like fun. And it's just like refreshing, I feel like, is what a lot of people kind of like, express to us about their experience with it.
No, and I get that. And they're also sharing this activity with like new people and finding their community, which could also like really just, create that reset. You know what I mean? You're around people that's like you.
Yes.
And I feel like what a lot of people kind of go through is like the sense of loneliness as they are adulting, because there's so many responsibilities from your job, your bills, your kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they haven't, to be able to sit back and just be still. Because that was the thing that I was struggling with the most. It was like, how can I be okay with being still, because a lot of times like I felt guilty. It was like there's so much other stuff that I should be doing, whether it's with my current job or with my business, but it's just like I can't move.
Because I feel like in this, I saw somebody made a video. It's like on YouTube. It was like why doing nothing feels illegal now. I just feel like we live in such an overstimulating society. Like there's always something to do. There's always something to look at. Like you see, like you see a video. Oh, I gotta try to. It's like information and like action or overload. And I feel like I love what you said about that, because in stillness is a lot of times what our bodies, what our minds, what our spirits needs to be able to move forward in the things that we are struggling with or dealing with. And so I feel like one thing that is really great about Smoking Colors is like you have that experience to just like, not need to do anything but just be in the space. So I think that's definitely something super needed today.
And thank you for providing that. When is the next Smoke and Color event?
Yeah, we're gonna do one. It's going to be, I think, I don't have the date correct, so I'm not gonna say it right now, but I know it's like early mid-June, Juneteenth Pride type of event. It's gonna be a day party. It's gonna be really fun. That'll probably be dropping in the next week or so. But yeah, we're trying to try out different formats for the event, just because like rent is crazy in DC, and so we're really just trying. I actually have a studio/creative space in my basement of my home, and so we've been doing a lot of the events there and being able to provide that space and try out like different opportunities. So our last event was the house party, and we did that to actually kind of like launch and celebrate my upcoming solo exhibition. It's called The Beauty Among Us Part 2. And so I really like turned, it's always a team effort. We turned my basement into like an art gallery. So it was a bunch of the pieces from the art show. We had some DJs, some lights. And so I really like that vibe. A lot of people like that like more comfortable, chill environment. So we definitely going to come back with that in June.
No, I love that. And I love the concept of the gallery, like, because a lot of the reasons why some of my students picked up a camera is because they want to capture something beautiful. So what was your reason for, becoming a shutterbug?
You know what? So I started learning about photography in 2018. I really wanted to. I've always been kind of someone who just loved taking pictures, because my memory has never always been that great. So I always wanted, pictures kind of like, pictures kind of hold the memories for me. And like whenever I can look at a photo like this one, I look at it and I remember that was a trip we took to Singapore back in 2019 with the SBL Honors Program that I was a part of. And so like I really wanted to like, learn how to do it. And so, when I went to Howard, I was like, okay, let me join the club. Like, let me try to, because I was a finance major and I didn't exactly have time to also major in photography. But there was no club. And I was like, all right, well, I'll just start it. So I started, the photography club, and I really started bringing in like other like photographers around the area. And so I learned from them, like what they, how the camera settings work, like what they're thinking about, like what perspective. Just because it's something that I wanted to be able to capture those memories like better, and I just always had really a lot of respect for like beautiful photographs, because I feel like pictures can really speak 1,000 words. I think about photos like of Malcolm X or like of Martin Luther King, like like when they're in motion, like those powerful, even Huey Newton, like that one where he's like. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like photos can really say 1,000, a million, billion words, And so I feel like that's what I wanted to be able to create for myself. So yeah, I guess I like that, Shutterbug. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I just like, that's a cute name that I have for some of my students, because like they just be buzzing around wanting to take pictures, constantly bugging me for the camera. See, guilty all the time. You know what I mean? So because even though you are maneuvering in these spaces, and you almost kind of have to be like a fly on the wall to get those candid moments, because like as soon as they take a picture, it's either they hide or they pose, and that doesn't seem like really like authentic. So you really have to be, stealthy
a little bit,
to capture this. Like I'd be real quick with it. Like you would probably never know that like I took the picture until I said something.
Yeah.
And it's just like when you capture that moment, and that realness, then it just makes it so much powerful.
Yes, like when you catch a moment, like I have a beautiful photo actually. It's called Blue Dreams. It was in the Collective art show. I don't know. Did you have a chance to see it? Collective.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, all right. We just wrapped in April, but the show, the piece I'm talking about will also be in the show. But that one is like I feel like the testament to exactly what you're talking about. Like I took that one in Ghana. I took a trip with my mom to Ghana, 2024, and we went to Gold Coast to see the castles where they kept our enslaved ancestors. And at that moment, obviously, of course, I had my had my phone, had my camera. I was like, I need to capture this, and I was looking out. Over the kind of like I don't know, like it was not a gate, but it's like it was at the water, like you know what I'm saying. And I saw this guy who he didn't have a shirt on. He was just kind of hanging out, and like as I took the picture, he looked at me when I looked at him, and like I caught it right there. Like, man, you gotta see that photo. I gotta show it to you. It's just, so I just feel like whenever that happens, that's like magic to me.
Yeah.
Like when you can just like have that moment, like memorialized that. It's really nothing like it.
No, I get it, and it's just like that makes it all the special when it's happy accidents, and it's just like they be like the most popular out of like everything.
Yeah.
And it's like really weird because like photography can be very frustrating when you're trying to intentionally capture something and then you look back and then it's like if focused on the wrong thing or somebody's elbow
It's
got to the shot,
blurry.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you actually capture like that super photo is just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that satisfaction of
Yes.
like, this should be in the gallery. I'm gonna
Yes.
post this on Instagram.
Yeah.
10 likes.
Yeah. And that's the artist's plight, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just think there's so many beautiful artists like artworks in the world that just never get the attention that they deserve because of the algorithms and stuff. And I feel like for me, I struggle with that. I definitely struggle with that around like, because this exhibition is actually my second iteration of like a lot of the same works are in it, but it's definitely a lot of new works too. But I did that first one by myself. It was just one night only, 2-hour exhibition at the Anacostia Art Center. I hung the art myself. It took me like 5 hours to figure out how to make it was so much work. And luckily it was a great experience, but I didn't really sell any art. Like I sold one thing off the walls. I was really proud of that. But for a while I was really disappointed. I was really like kind of like, I stopped focusing on my artwork for a bit. I'll just be honest about that because I just that external validation that I guess I was expecting, like just thinking about all the work that I had put in, and feeling like it didn't really get the attention or the accolades or whatever I was expecting from it, it didn't happen, and so that kind of took me away from my artwork. But especially in like the last like six-ish months, I've really been locking back in on it because one thing I feel like Issa Rae said this. It's like your and not even Issa Rae, what she said, like just looking at, I started studying like her and like her journey from being able to, from awkward black girl, and now she like, big, big shit. It's like that devotion that I see like creatives who I really respect, like no matter if she got 10 likes, she just kept showing up for art, kept sharing, kept putting herself out there, like millions, probably, thousands of times at this point. And I feel like for me, that is the most important thing that we can do as creative people, because as much as we like to get the money and the success and the accolades, that's actually not the point of it. It's like the fact that you made something that resonates with even one person, even if that one person is you. That's why like just creation for the sake of creating is really a practice that I'm trying to embrace more.
No, and I definitely get that. I think like what people have to understand when it comes to creatives is like part of our job is to, amplify the beauty that we see, show our perspective, and just to kind of help even like inspire others. Like this right here is like so vibrant and beautiful. Like I'm not a traveler, but this make me want to get my passport and like get on the plane. You know what I mean? Just to kind of like see the world and see like other amazing places that may not, get that spotlight.
Yes, yes, exactly that. That's I mean, I love to go to new places and travel. Like that's where a lot of my That's why I called it the beauty among us, because whenever I go to these different places, like I've been to Ghana, I've been to Iceland, I've been to Singapore, like whenever I go to new places, I'm just in awe of, like, it just immediately like expands my worldview, and it's so much to appreciate about this world that we live in that can often feel very heavy, that can often feel very hopeless and kind of shitty and stupid at times. But it's like there's still so much to behold. There's so much beauty that we can find. And so that's what I really, that's what I love about traveling, especially travel photography, when I'm able to like kind of bring that emotion that I had and also share like these beautiful places with folks who haven't been. Yeah.
That's lovely. That's truly lovely. Hopefully, with my budget, I'll be able to hop on a plane
Hey,
and
we
see some
working on
things.
it.
Yeah, we're working on it
We
for
working on
sure.
it.
So I'm curious, is like because
Yeah.
like you have 4 businesses, how does some of them like kind of intersect with one another,
Oh, I
or
love
is
that.
like you kind of just keep everything in its own little
Yeah.
section?
No, I love that question. It's really timely because that's actually been the season I'm in, is like, how do I integrate all of my interests? Because like I said, I like every time I want to do stuff, like I just, oh, maybe I can do this. Like I can, and I just feel like I bring, so the basis of everything I do is that I'm an artist. Right? Like I'm an artist first before everything. And I don't just think about like my artwork as art. I think of my life as art. I think of everything that I do, the way that I dress, the way that I, create my relationships, like all of that is a creative act. And so I really bring that perspective into my coaching, into my digital marketing, like being able to, because I feel like in creation, especially authentic creation that really resonates with who you are, that is where freedom and play and creativity, like that's where all of the good stuff is. And so I feel like that perspective that I have helps me, you know, help other people in different ways. So definitely, like, I'll give you an example. I had a session earlier this week. That was on Wednesday. I did a digital marketing for coaches, like just kind of workshop session, and it was really about like as a coach, someone who's impact oriented, committed to supporting other people, like being able to share whatever message that you have with the people that you're interested in sharing, that should actually feel easy. I feel like marketing can feel so like, like just dreadful. Like, especially like when you're trying to figure out, okay, should I do this strategy? Should I do that? I felt that way when I was learning what all this stuff meant. And I feel like I really, a lot of people resonated in being able to like, you know, give ourselves the freedom to just express ourselves and share things with the folks that we really want to connect with, that we really want to serve, that we really want to, be there for authentically in however way that shows up for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of that, that messaging that I shared in that session is exactly how I feel with my coaching, is exactly how I feel with my artistry and Smoking Colors. Like, self-expression at the highest form is I think there's freedom in that for a lot of us, So, yeah.
No, I definitely see how everything could intersect.
Yeah.
So it's just like I'm excited. Well, one, I think what kind of gagged me is like running 4 businesses at once.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah, and I want to say something about that. Like, everything really does have its season too. Like, it's like I have them, but it's like, because I mean, we do live in a gig economy, and I don't know many people who don't got a lot, a job over here, a business, it's like that's just kind of, I mean, shit is so expensive. It's like that's kind of the world we live in.
You have to have a side hustle.
Exactly. And I feel like, a lot of things have their season. Like, I'll give you another example. Like, I did a coaching program at Howard for some graduating seniors, and actually the honors program that I graduated from. And so I ran that for the spring semester, it was like the first 3 months of the spring semester. Did that, focusing on, running it again in the fall. And so I was focusing on that for a while, like kind of building it out, like, doing the structure for it, iterating on it because it was a pilot program. And so now I'm in the phase of, okay, I finished that. Now I'm kind of focusing. I got my art show coming up. Like, my focus is kind of there. And then when we have a Smoking Colors event, so I just kind of, I'm learning how to like flow with whatever is happening, and also being able to, see how things have their seasons, and just me being who I am. I used to like feel really frustrated. It's like, oh, I feel like fragmented. I got all these things, but it's like, I just really am just committed to like surrendering to, okay, these are the things that I'm committed to. This is my path. Things have their seasons. How can I find flow and ease and fulfillment in whatever season I'm in? So I feel like that's kind of been my approach to like juggling everything is just really understanding like everything is not going to be for every single time, you know?
No, I
Yeah.
get that. So it's
Yeah.
just like you're not putting too much on your plate. It's just like you have periods of time where, okay, I'm going to focus on this, I'm going to focus
Yes.
on that.
Yes.
So you're kind of like really pacing yourself.
Exactly, because I feel like diversification. Oh, sorry, I'm touching this. I feel like diversification is really important. That kind of comes back. You know, I studied finance in college, so one learned that money and capitalism really is fake, but it's fake. But you know, there are things that I've learned, and it's like I do believe deeply in diversification and being able to have different things that I can draw on. Because like you know, I'm literally going to Atlanta next week for a coaching opportunity. You know, like and it's like things like that happen in my life because I feel like I'm just practicing like having the courage to just like you know pursue things, even if I don't completely have understand like okay this is exactly how this is. I don't know how this is going turn out, but these are the things that's resonating with me. So yeah, I'm just flowing with what the opportunities that are coming to me and exploring those. Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that because it's like what people don't understand. Like, although you're your own boss, but it even takes way more work because it's like you're doing a little bit of everything on top of doing your talent and creativity. You also gotta be on top. Well, I mean, you have your own social marketing firm, so that that may be more easier for you, but for others that may not know how to necessarily move or promote themselves, like that's a whole nother task.
Yeah.
And then you have to be like your own accountant because you got to like figure out the budget and for
You
the
do got to
loans
figure out
and
them
grants
taxes.
and you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's like it can be a lot, but like again, kudos to you for being able to find a way to manage those 4 businesses and not deal with the burnout.
Yeah, because I mean, and I've don't get me wrong, I've burnt myself out. I have definitely burnt myself. There have been several times over these last 2 years where I have just, because I'm so like I have so much like energy and like I have a lot of high capacity for like doing, and sometimes I do myself too hard. And so I feel like it's definitely been one thing I want to say is like, you know, understanding business and entrepreneurship, like a lot of these like startups and things that we see, they have millions of dollars behind them to be able to make their ventures work. The fact that Uber can for 10 years lose money every year before they can, and when you think about folks like us who come from diverse backgrounds, who don't have like a big capital, like we don't have access to private equity like right out the gate. It's like that puts a lot of things in perspective in terms of to be able to scale a business does require capital, does require more hands, does so when you're small, when you can't hire a full team, it's like you have to be able to, and this is what I've been learning how to do, is like manage expectations, and be able to be okay with the journey taking longer than you would prefer. Because that's just that, and I've also been very blessed to where I've definitely had a lot of support from my mom. She was the first person who invested in my business. I cannot ignore that, because if I didn't have that investment, she's also that I wouldn't be able to I feel like create as fast as I would, because she believed in me and actually put her money where her mouth is. Like that can't be overlooked. As a thing that contributes to the success, for sure.
Shout out to moms.
I love my mama.
Shout
Love
out
you,
to
mom.
moms
I know you're gonna see this.
for the support, because it's like you're right, because like a lot of times, especially with me starting out, it was like friends, even like former students that wanted to pitch in and help and make this happen. So so shout out to them, especially you, since I just dragged you in this. But yeah, it's just like people don't really like realize, like for a lot of other businesses, you have to also factor in like loan access.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it can either make or break how you start. Because like if you don't have the initial loan, you may not be able to launch the way you want to. And then
cash flow.
Even talking with other creatives, it's just like, okay, I'm putting in all this work, but I'm not getting that instant gratification, or I'm not seeing the profit. Should I like stop, or should I like keep going? And that's always been like, what people have kind of been toggling with.
Yeah, because I mean, it is hard. Like it's literally a different, entrepreneurship is a totally different way of being and living than, your 9 to 5 job. Like there are a lot of times where I miss, every 2 weeks, I knew that check was going to hit. And so it's really being able to, understand like the rhythm, like literally right now, it's been months I've been waiting on, a invoice to land, or like these processes, like might get this, 1 month, but then there might not be anything, like, and it's just like being able to weather like the ups and downs. And I think that, so what's so important, what it's been for me in entrepreneurship is like being able to, surrender like to the natural ups and downs of money and like detach my emotions from it. Because like I used to get like so caught up when it's like, I don't feel like I have no money right now, like it's really affecting me. But you have to keep showing up, for your vision, for the things that you believe in. And you have to give yourself room and space and permission to just be in the journey of it, and figuring out how to tap into the best parts of yourself, even amidst all of the bullshit that might, that's out of your control. Like that's so much of how I feel like I've been able to find success in my journey. Just being able to work on that. Yeah.
And then what are some of the common mistakes you think a lot of entrepreneurs make when they first start out and trying to promote themselves?
I think honestly, I think it's just waiting and like trying to get it all right. I mean, I'm literally talking to myself right now. Like just like feeling like, something has to be exactly perfect. Like this video, like it has to be progress over perfection all the time. Like you're never going to know what you need to know, because like I said before, it's like sustained effort over time is what is going to get you the results, because you need the data, you need the feedback, you need to hear, like the people that you're trying to serve, you need to hear back from them. You need to, you need to be in the world, interacting, to be able to understand what, the dance between what you have to offer and what the market is needing. And so I think people just wait and sit on their hands and like do the, information overload thing of like, I'm gonna study and read, and at some point you have to get into the game and just put shit out there and just see what sticks. I would definitely encourage people who do have something to offer, who are, thinking about starting a business, like just try it, see, get, even if it's like just talking to the folks in your community, like being able to get that feedback is everything.
No, I definitely hear that. And it seems like the hard work is definitely paying off, because you were recently recognized by your alma mater
I
at Howard
was.
University.
Yeah, I was. I received the Alumni Access Award of Excellence, which was definitely a very full circle moment for me. Like I said, I was in the honors program at school, and I just think about like who I was back then. I was very awkward. I was very like, kind of to myself. I was very depressed. I had a lot of sadness with me, just because like I was kind of going through like understanding my gender, and like I didn't really connect like with as many people as I would have liked. I was struggling, and so to receive that honor, because I'm also on the board. I do pro bono work with the honors program as well, and so it was honestly such a full circle moment for me to be able to just kind of, even just for me, just to look at, how far I've come, and to receive that like affirmation, because I can't sit up here and say that there haven't been times where I'm questioning. I'm like, okay, is this really like, I'm
No,
doing a lot.
I get that. Yeah.
But so just to receive that affirmation from my HU community was like, I can't even explain it. It was just everything. It's just everything. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy for you. Like that's a beautiful thing, for you to give back to your school, and for them to really recognize and see you for everything that you're doing, because you are doing a lot on top of like doing like consulting and putting up your own gallery. You even had come up with your own coloring book, like
Oh yeah.
on top. So yeah,
Yep. And I can't take all the credit for this. So this is our official coloring book, our Smoking Colors coloring book. There are, you want? Should I just? Okay. But yeah, like I said, me and my business partner Wesley, amazing guy. He's Lee Ritchie Creations on Instagram. That's actually one of his designs. We really just came together because one thing that when we had the idea of Smoking Colors, we actually met at an art market in like the December of 2024. This is also one of mine. I love that one. People love this one. We really wanted to just like make something that felt more approachable for people, that was just different. Wesley he is just like, I respect him so much as a creative, because he knew how, he was making his own coloring books. When I just had the idea, I was like, hey, I met this guy. We had a lot of like synergy. He knew how to do all of these things, and so we really just came together and made something
I
that
really like this
I
one.
love that one too. That one, we made that one for the Leo event. We actually had to cancel it, unfortunately, but
Oh.
yeah, we'll run it back at some point. But
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Ooh.
And I feel like one thing I really like about our coloring book is like a lot of people have told us like, this one is a lot more approachable. Like if you think about like a lot of coloring books on the market, it's like they're super complicated. Like it's like super detailed. Like don't nobody want to color all that. Like sometimes
Sometimes
you want
red.
to yeah, I like that one a lot too. But yeah, and also all of these designs are from our events. Like this is from our 420 event that we did. Some of these, I think this is for the Pride 10th event we did last year. And so yeah, we have a 1 year anniversary version.
Donuts.
But yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I just
No, you're
birthed my
good.
inner Homer
No, I
Simpson.
love this one. I love this one. This is our logo right there.
Nice. Oh, this is like, so this is available for like purchase.
Yeah.
Like say for example, like let's say you're unable to make it to the event itself. Can you buy this online?
Yep. We have them for sale on Smoking Colors, smokeincolors.com. If you go to our Instagram, it's in the bio. But yeah, we have them for sale, and we try and get on TikTok Shop. So at some point, and we also always have a merch table set up at our events. We have a mini one too. I should have brought that one with me, but yeah.
No, this is like so amazing, and like I said, like I think as adults, like we just need to embrace more hobbies and just be okay to just like turn our brains off for a
Absolutely,
second.
you need that, because like there have been so many times where like because like I said, I feel like sometimes I doing is like love to do, but sometimes it's like I have like my body and my spirit will literally just like refuse to keep going until I go, all right, let me go move, let me go to the gym, let me go see a movie, let me play with my Legos, like let me do something that's gonna feed that inner child part of myself, because I feel like sometimes like no, like I'm done. Like don't ask me nothing else until you feed that. Until you feed that part of yourself. It's so necessary, because I feel like especially in the world today, where we're seeing so many things that are like saddening, that are horrific, that are that affect us, like so like things like crazy, like world shattering shit. It's like happening every day. They just got rid of the Voting Rights Act. What?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So it's just like, I think that being able to, tap into those creative practices that feed you, that give you back, some energy, we need that. Like, it's non-negotiable at this point, because like when people talk about like protecting your peace, and like I think that's how you do that. Like when you actually carve out time to get off your phone, to go and do something that you really enjoy, I think that's everything.
Yeah, you hear that? Get off your phone.
Heavy on it.
So I think that we do get too involved with technology, that we just like spend our times just like this, like our necks.
Everybody got the little. Do you have that too? Like your finger
Right
is like you got a little dent there.
No, I don't think the dent.
No, you don't have a dent. I got a dent a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not as bad, but
oh god, like the physical impact and mental impact of like overuse of technology will be very apparent, like coming soon.
Yeah.
So I think it's important. Like sometimes it's like, let's play a board game. You know what I mean? Let's make figurines, build something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To just kind of disconnect, because we are dealing with an age of information overload, where we're instantly getting news of all. Some of it may not even be like true information either. Like we're dealing with a lot in all directions. So we can't take for granted for the little bit of time that we have to just kind of stay more grounded. I think for like people around our ages, it's like easier because it's like it's not that much different than what we, you know what I mean? But for those that like say, what is your generation called again?
Alpha.
Gen
Oh,
Z,
Gen Z?
or you
Okay.
like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, it may be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, so after testing, we had standardized testing this month.
Okay.
And it was like, but we're still in school. They still had classes afterwards. Why they did that, I don't know. So I was like, okay, so we take a break from computers and everything. I won't make you do work, but it's just like I had board games out. Like the dean had some like board games like checkers, chess, Connect Four. I had like a deck of cards, and I was just like, you guys are just going to have to turn off and learn a game. Like I was teaching students, like they didn't know how to play the game Speed. It's like I was teaching them that, and
People don't know how to play Speed.
yeah, I was just like but it was like something was in it because they started to get into it. You know what I mean? The kids will eventually get into it. You just have to show them, because they're so used to. So they're so used to like the iPads and like video games, but you teach them things like chess and walk them through it. Like I think like the switch clicks on, and it gives you a little bit of hope.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like that's so important, because I think it's really important to slow down time. Because I realize my perspective on time is it really is a perspective thing. Like, you ever notice like how sometimes like a day can go by like that, and sometimes like days go by really slow. And I feel like we have a bit more control than we give ourselves credit for, of like actually taking control of our experience of time, so we can actually be in the moment and enjoy the life that we are having, because this is the life we have. And so I think things move so fast on the internet, spending time away from this technology to be in real time and space and just like slow things down and be with one another is really important. I think it's a really strong tool that we have to survive and like thrive. Yeah, I love that, especially for young people. Yeah.
And after talking with you today, I kind of want you like to come
Oh,
to
yeah.
a school.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For sure, because I
talking to
know
kids.
your coaching is not just for like adults. You also have a program for students. So what does
Exactly.
that program look like?
Yeah. So it's the Pathways to Success transitional coaching program. The pilot we did with some graduating college seniors, but I'm also doing a version for just students who are just like either getting into high school or just about to go to college. Just really being able to one, I think the biggest like takeaway that the students had is like being able to connect to themselves, like truly what does that mean. And I didn't talk too much about this, but I want to mention it here now. The organization that I got my coaching certification from is called Evoke, and it's really about being able to enjoy a high quality of life, enjoy a high quality of living and well-being through identity transformation, and being able to, become a person that has the life that you want, right? And being able to, tap into doing that, not by like trying to fix, change, or handle yourself, but really tapping into like the innermost part of you that makes you, like that light, that authenticity, that essence, like connecting to that and designing a life around that. That to me is the most powerful thing that we have, because I feel like, especially like, I don't think people have enough room, especially young people have enough room to develop and connect to what that actually looks like. I feel like there's so many, people on the internet telling you how to be, telling you what to do. Like, I feel like it's so easy to like, take on a persona that isn't truly ours. And I feel like the process that Evoke has developed, and that's what I leverage for my coaching program, is being able to kind of cut out that noise and just get back in touch with self. And I think students are so like well positioned for this, because they're so like malleable. Like, like they have, they still have that like childlike flexibility that allows them to, take to it and be able to practice these things, because I feel like adults kind of get rigid, we get older,
stuck in our ways.
Yeah.
And then it's like with students,
Yeah.
they're still trying to figure themselves out. A lot of
Exactly.
times they either adopt the personality of somebody else, or they feel like they have to put on this mask to be more accept it, and it's just like we tell you to be who you are, and it's just
But
like
what is that, right? Like, who are you, right? And that's what the process is all about. Like, what is that? And it's actually like putting language to it, putting structure to it. Like, what does that mean? How do you spend your days? How do you spend your time? What do you do? What don't you do for your health, your wealth, your finances? Like, what are you investing your resources? And when I say resources, I say money, time. What else do we say? Money, time. I feel like there's another resource I'm missing. Yeah, energy. Yeah, money, time, energy. Like, what are you investing in that actually shows what your values are? And like, that to me is like so powerful. So I would love to speak to your students about it. You know, I feel
Please
like
do.
this is
Like
work that's
I just think they
Yeah.
just need help finding their inner self, and I think that would help change a lot of the behaviors and culture that we've been seeing in the building.
Yeah.
So it's like, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me. My main Instagram is Success the Great. It's just SuccessTheGr, the number 8. That's my main Instagram. You can follow me, Success Art Studios, on Instagram as well. My website is successfulsites.tech for marketing. Successful Smoking Colors for Smoking Colors events. You can join our newsletter there. And then successartstudios.com for my artistry. And Pathways to Success, you can just find us on LinkedIn. Pathways to Success Transitional Coaching Services.
Awesome. I'm going to put all of that in the description because that was a mouthful.
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
I know.
You see how you guys glowed from that conversation? I'm going to catch you guys next time. Bye.